Welcome back to the Media Unrestricted podcast. I'm Chase,
And I'm Dylan.
and we got a big episode this week with a lot of great news. And let's just get it started. Let's not wait any longer, and let's get talking about probably the hottest thing everybody was most excited for and was ready to see: the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer 2. This was, like I said, the biggest thing this week, even bigger than Ghostbusters, which we will have a little bit more news later in the show. But, yeah, let's break it down, man. I love this trailer so much. It gave everything I wanted in the trailer. Didn't really spoil anything. There's a lot of great stuff in it. It was kind of a fast paced, kind of gets the juices flowing. It gets you really, really excited for what this movie's going to bring within just a month. It's just crazy to think that this movie is only 1 month exactly away. But I know this movie is going to kill it at the box office. But let's just break this trailer down and get started with this trailer starts with shots from the first trailer that we've already seen before and everything, but then it cuts right to Doc Ock and Spider-Man fighting each other on the bridge like we've seen in the first trailer. But then Doc Ock gets kind of like he gets Peter up against the wall, kind of like where the bridge is, and it says, "You're not Peter." So, um, but I'll get to later what I think that. Everybody knows what it means. So, Tobey Maguire, you're in there. You're in this movie. I just know you are. Anyways, moving on. Then Peter, Ned, and MJ are talking to Doc Ock because it looks like they got him captured or something. I'm not sure. But they start mocking him because they ask, "What's your name?" And he says, "Dr. Otto Octavius," and they just start laughing at him, and that was good. I did like that spot. And then we get a quick glance of J. Jonah Jameson looking at, like, it looks like the Sandman damage. Because right before it looks like the Sandman doing his thing, destroying a part of town. That's what it looks like. Maybe this is around that same time. And then a really cool shot I like was the nanotech from Iron Man, what Iron Man had for the Spider-Man. It was sticking to Doc Arm, like his arms, which is really, really cool. I'm really looking forward to seeing what that all transpires and everything. That looks really cool. Then we get our first look at Electro, which he looks proper. He looks exactly what he should have looked like back when Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out. I love the look. He looks great. And then we get a closer look of Green Goblin, which looks spot on from Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. He looks just like he did, and I love it. I love that. That's the way it should be. Should be nothing different. Um, I'm just glad to see him back because he is definitely one of my favorite Spider-Man villains in his whole thing of villains. He's always been one of my favorites. Um, and then there's a shot of, it looks like like kind of Green Goblin coming down, but if you take a closer look at it, this one's not wearing a mask or anything. So the question I have for you, Dylan, and everybody in the go down the comments and say, is there two goblins in this movie? Is there Norman Osborn's Goblin, and then maybe like is maybe Harry coming back? That one's the one I really doubt it. But what I really think it is Ned as Hobgoblin. That's really, really what I think it is. And who knows? I could be blowing this all out of proportion like everybody is. I know it's a lot of people talking about this from the picture and everything. But Dylan, I really want to know what you think on this. And then the thing I saw whenever I was watching the trailer is Peter is being helped by Doc Ock, because I really had that vibe of everything that he was being helped by him, which would be really kind of a cool thing because I always felt like Doc Ock was, yes, he was a villain, but he also had this side that he could help if he needed to. And I really am looking forward to seeing if he is helping or if he's just, this is kind of what the trailer is maybe wanting you to believe. I don't know. That's what I got, first impressions. And I know I've seen a few other people think the same thing. And then we had a cool, really cool shot of Electro, Sandman, and the Lizard. Kind of look like they're on like, I couldn't see where this is, like maybe like a building or something that's being built or something like this. It's really hard to tell, but they're all there together, and that is a money shot. Yes, the Lizard. Everyone was talking about it being in the first trailer, and I didn't. I wasn't gonna say if it was or not because I wouldn't get my hopes up. It looks like it is. It is the Lizard, and I'm glad to see him back because I always thought the Lizard was a very underrated villain in the Amazing Spider-Man movie. But yeah, that's a money shot. I love that. I love that shot, and that's like one of those shots I love to have like a poster of because it just looks so cool. And then it kind of cuts to them all like jumping towards. You see, Andrew Garfield, Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield, sorry. You see, like them, like just leaping at him, um, leaping at Tom Holland Spider-Man. Thank you, excuse me. Um, he so, but how it kind of looks if you take a picture of it, it looks like someone like they're not even looking at him; they're looking at somebody else that's like straight across from them. So it really makes me think, and a whole bunch of other people, and I know Dylan, I think you think too, that they edited them out. I just really feel like they're there. They're just Disney. It's just edited them out, so you don't think they're there. But they might not be. It may be just how it looks. But then there is, I think it's the Australian trailer. Lizard gets punched by something. Well, it kind of looks like he's getting punched. But I also see like the building next to him, things falling down. So I kind of wonder if maybe it was that. But he gets punched. It kind of looks like too. So I don't know. It's really that's going to be a one of the most I feel like talked about things. Are they there and they were edited out, or is it just us thinking a little too hard? But and then the last couple shots of this trailer show MJ like being like knocked off this building and Peter like jumping down to reach out to grab her, and then it cuts to the title. That's a key thing because I feel like in every single movie now, um, that has happened. Peter has reached out to save her from falling, which is I think always just the Spider-Man must have. That's just always one of the things you need. And then the final shot is Doctor Strange. Over they were him and Peter are like at this. It looks like it's kind of like in the toward the Statue of Liberty maybe. He says they're starting to come through, and I can't stop them. So maybe that's I guess the villains maybe coming through. I think, or what is that? Dylan, I really want to know your thoughts. Maybe you can help me explain, understand that final shot. But overall, I love this trailer so much. It's so good, so fast paced, so exciting. Gets you just excited for everything this movie is going to bring. Tickets go on sale November 29th on Spider Monday. Yes, which is Cyber Monday, but they're going to call it Spider Monday. And I just know those tickets are going to be a hot item to get. It's going to be like Avengers Endgame all over again. You got to be there and get your tickets right away because they're not going to last long. It's going to be packed houses when they come out. Like I said, movie drops in just 1 month, December 17th. Um, I just can't wait. I'm so excited. I think we're going to end this year on a high note with this movie. But Dylan, what did you think of this trailer, man? Altogether, what are your thoughts? Did you like it? Did you love it more than me? What do you think, man? I just got to know. What did you think?
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good trailer. It's definitely the better of the two, in my opinion. Sure, the first one got everybody hype, but the second one revealed all the villains and showed us the classic Raimi villains and the Amazing Spider-Man villains. Going back to what you said earlier about the second Goblin, I think that's still just Willem Dafoe's Goblin, because it was revealed a few months ago that Willem Dafoe is gonna have like Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin is gonna have a costume redesign for this movie, and a lot of people are thinking that with the costume redesign, the original Raimi costume is going to be his original, the one he comes in with, and then later on in the movie, possibly even during this fight, he's going to have his new updated costume. And I firmly believe that theory, mainly because I don't see a point in having more than one goblin. And I don't believe I don't think the Ned as Hobgoblin thing has any water to it personally. It just doesn't seem to make sense to me, at least. But yeah, everything else in the trailer was great. I loved all the drama. I loved the action. I loved all the returning villains. And going back to what you said too about the part where all the villains were jumping at Spider-Man, I 100% do say that they edited out Toby and Andrew Spider-Man because, like you said, it was in the Brazilian trailer, by the way, not the Australian trailer, the Brazilian trailer. You do see Lizard getting punched, and whenever Chase mentioned that, I made sure to put that specific part of that trailer in there so you know what we're talking about, which I'm sure by now all of you have already seen. But yeah, this was such a great trailer. I'm such a huge Spider-Man fan. I grew up on Spider-Man, and like this is everything that I wanted it to be. I've seen people saying this is going to be the best Spider-Man movie ever, and I agree. It's really shaping up to be like that. And you're right about this too. This is the Statue of Liberty. The entire final fight scene is on top of the Statue of Liberty because what they're doing is they're replacing the Statue of Liberty's torch with a Captain America shield, and I forgot what the name was. It was earlier on in the trailer. It's like the something Avenger, but some people said the heaviest Avenger. Other people said something else, but it said it on the side of like a little sign of what it's going to be. But because there is a big bronze Captain America shield that they're putting on the Statue of Liberty, and that falls off, and that's how MJ falls off. So there's that for you. And then going to this final shot here, I would probably have to say I don't know what's going on. I'm thinking this is probably like obviously this is at the end of the movie because it's nighttime and it's at the Statue of Liberty. But I don't know if this is at the very end, like towards the like close to the credits, or if maybe this is an end credit scene setting up Doctor Strange 2. Because I don't see any of the scaffolding around the Statue of Liberty unless it's there and it's just like dark and you can't see it. So maybe this is after the final fight and after everything's happened. I don't know what he means by they're coming through. I'm wondering if that's just like weird selective editing they did to make it sound weird. But I think what's going on here is I'm thinking this is coinciding with the finale of Loki season 1. And I'm I'm I believe that what's happening right now is the multiverse is breaking because of what Sylvie did at the end of Loki season 1. And that's why you see the purple and stuff cuz if you remember at the end of Loki season 1, the multiverse fracturing was purple. If you remember that, it was like bluish purple, like little branches and stuff. And I'm thinking that's what's going on here, like because I think the purple you see there is we're getting glimpses into the multiverse itself. That's personally what I think, and I think this is right. This right here is what's going to lead into Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. That's what my personal feelings are about this.
And moving on to our next topic, something that kind of I didn't think we'd be getting right away, but we got the new Predator movie, Prey, news, and this was just announced. I think it was towards I think it was Monday. I feel like it was. We all knew that it was going to be kind of back in 300 years ago, kind of with like the Native Americans kind of thing. Um, so kind of I think this is supposed to be. I thought like how when the first Predator came to here. So I think that's what it is. Dylan, correct me if I'm wrong on that. Um, but this movie is going to be dropping only on Hulu in 2022, which I'll talk about that in a minute. What I think of that, but we did have this cool poster. I mean, it's nice. It's not the greatest poster by any means, but it still kind of does what it needs to do with the main character right there and the predator in the background. I just kind of like that fog to it. I think it looks really kind of a nice setting there. But the Prey is the star Amber Mid Thunder, which we talked about her being things. She's gonna be the main lead, and this movie is directed by Dan Trachtenberg. But yeah, I don't on this only being on Hulu. I just don't know if this is a good idea. I mean, put this in theaters. I mean, people are going to want to see this, I think. I mean, I know people are still upset with how The Predator went, but I mean, people are still going to want to see this in theaters. But, I guess it is what it is. I know I will definitely watch it on Hulu. It's definitely one I will want to see. Um, but Dylan, what did you think of this, man? All this news about Predator, man. What did you think? Are you are you excited to see this movie? Are you what's your full thoughts?
Okay, so me and you, we already know like each other's thoughts pretty much on Predator and stuff like that. But just for the people who don't know, I'm not a huge fan of these kinds of movies. I'll watch them, and they're pretty okay in my opinion. They're not the best movies out there, but they're pretty okay, I guess. But I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if I have any interest in this. Like it's about a predator who's hunting Native Americans. Like I don't know how really interesting you can get with that. It takes place 300 years ago. Like I think for me, the movies were only interesting mainly because they take place in modern times and it's like modern day people trying to deal with these threats. But then they're taking it back to a time where a predator's attacking Native Americans who only have bow and arrows and all that stuff. And it's just like I don't know. That just doesn't sound like it's for me, man. Like I don't know. I don't. That's pretty much my thoughts on that.
And moving on to our next topic, yeah, like I said, we're gonna talk about Ghostbusters Afterlife first reactions. The movie drops tomorrow, which me and Dylan will have a out of the theater thoughts for you, so stay tuned for that. But I mean, I think a lot of people are excited for this movie, and from first reactions, this movie delivered. Um, I'm just gonna read just a few of them off to you, and here's what they say. This is from Dan Merle. Just got home from a trip to see Ghostbusters Afterlife. It was like being wrapped in a warm blanket. I love this return to this world. Jason Reitman has made a movie worthy of the franchise his father launched. This is one you've been waiting for. And then they said they had a review coming for you in the AM. Another one comes from 3C Films, which me and Dylan definitely have seen his stuff. Chris Parker. Ghostbusters Afterlife made me cry. Wow, did the emotional punches hit me hard. It's a movie truly made for fans. McKenna Grace and Paul Rudd knocked it out of the park, but I found Logan Kim to be a hilarious standout. Huge promise to the VFX and aesthetic. More, please. And Brian Quinn saw Ghostbusters Afterlife last night. The first movie is my favorite of all time. I just love it. Happy to report that Afterlife is a worthy sequel. Fun, the young cast is surprisingly great. Red is perfect. It looks and feels like a Ghostbusters movie. I had a blast. Film Codex Ghostbusters Afterlife innovates the franchise while in leaning into nostalgia. Personally, touch of Jason Reitman's heralding his dad's franchise felt throughout. McKenna Grace is captivating, Paul Rudd equals a scene stiller, and last 20 minutes are so touching. Must see Ghostbusters. And the last one I'm going to read for you is from Zach Pope, excuse me. Ghostbusters Afterlife is a much needed breath of fresh air for the franchise. Feeling heartwarming, charming, exciting, nostalgic, and of course spooky. It builds off of what made the original so good and never stopped. McKenna Grace, though, she's a star. Yeah, that's just a few of the early reactions that I got for you. These definitely got me excited to see what this movie is going to bring. I was really excited for this movie last year when it was supposed to release, but then, of course, with COVID and everything, it did get delayed. But I think this movie is going to be the truly for the fans, like the people said, and it's just going to bring Ghostbusters back to popularity again. But Dylan, what did you think of all of those reactions? Are you excited? What's your thoughts going into the movie and everything? What do you think?
Um, there's a thing here for me. I enjoy looking at positive reactions, but I don't think we can ignore that there are quite a few negative reviews of this movie. Like, I don't mean to be negative and like just shit on it, but you do have to acknowledge that there are negative reviews about this. This is the only article I could find that mentioned that the people are calling it a blast of nostalgia and all that stuff. Because the whatever I typed in Ghostbusters Afterlife reviews, one of the first articles that popped up was I don't remember who it was from, but it said, "Why are Ghostbusters Afterlife reviews so mixed?" And I looked on Rotten Tomatoes, and it has a 67% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I'm just not sure why. Because after CinemaCon, when they debuted it to the people who were there, everyone came out of that saying that they had a good time. It was funny. Like, they just had a good time and thought it was a good movie. But yet now that critic reviews are out, people are saying it's mixed. Like, I don't get it. Like, I'm not understanding why it's mixed and all that. 67%. Why? I just don't understand it. But yeah, like you, I'm excited for this. Like Chase said, we will have our fresh out of the theater like review thoughts for you as soon as we get out of this movie, and that should be around 9 o'clock tonight. So look out for that.
And moving on to some TV show news, we had some kind of like it's teasers for new upcoming shows, starting with the Halo TV show, which I feel like was a thing that's been in work for a while. You didn't get much in this teaser, just the first look of Master Chief, and he looks great. This will be a 9 episode series, and it's set to debut in sometime in 2022 on Paramount Plus. Dylan, I know you're a big Halo fan. What did you think of this little quick teaser, and how are you? Are you excited for the show?
Yeah, I've been excited for this ever since I heard about like back. If anyone remembers, back in like 2009 or 2010, there was like an officially released sort of live action Halo thing that was released online, and it was supposed to be like some sort of like teaser or like test footage or something for a Steven Spielberg Halo movie, I think. And I don't think that ever came to fruition, and I think that basically transformed into this right here. I don't know if this is by Steven Spielberg. I don't think it is, but this just look at this Master Chief right here. That just looks so good to me. From what I saw from the early from the, like the looks, his armor is gonna look a lot like his Halo 3 armor, which I'm fully in favor of because I think the Halo 3 armor, other than the Halo 1 armor, is my favorite version of Master Chief's armor because I think the Halo 3 armor is his most iconic. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this. I don't know when it comes out. I know you said it. It's supposed to launch on Paramount Plus next year, 2022, just like a lot of other stuff, like all the Marvel shows and whatnot. So yeah, I definitely am looking forward to this because I am a huge Halo fan. Grew up playing it since 2001 when I was 6 years old. I just can't wait.
And moving on to kind of Disney Plus Day stuff. There's a lot of good stuff coming out from the day and everything. The one that everyone was most excited for was the Obi-Wan. Kind of was just not really a teaser. Is more it's like it kind of explained everything from the man. He kind of was saying that we are going to get another Darth Vader Obi-Wan fight. So looking forward to that, of course. But I can't wait to see what the Obi-Wan show comes out with. Um, Moon Knight, they have their little teaser, which I think that was the most excited for. I was. Um, it gave us a good look at Moon Knight. Kind of not a super good look, but from what comics he looks very good. Um, it's going to star Oscar Isaac as Moon Knight, of course, and Ethan Hawke. Uh, If anyone who doesn't know who Moon Knight is, he's a superhero who doesn't have superpowers, but he is a crime-fighting former U.S. Marine. With, like I said, the powers is from like an Egyptian moon god. Um, the show will be 40 to 50 minute long episodes, and will premiere in 2022. So I think that one's the one I'm really most excited for because I just think it's going to be kind of something that would definitely be up more in my alley on Marvel wise. We also got She-Hulk, which looks really good as well. We saw Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner and the Hulk. It was still like from Avengers Endgame, kind of. He still had the glasses and everything on, because I know we saw in the Shang-Chi in credits scene he was actually Bruce Banner. So I guess from that thing we'll find out how he switches back. I know Tim Roth, who played Abomination, is going to be back in there, so it's going to be great to see him again. He was in Shang-Chi. It's going to be great to see him doing more. This will be a 10 episode series, 30-minute lengths for each of them. She-Hulk will be a part of the Phase 4 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and is scheduled to release sometime in 2022. Miss Marvel had one. This is one I feel like I was not as excited for, but I really liked what I saw from it. Miss Marvel is stars Ema Velia, maybe I think that's how I pronounce it, which plays Camila Khan, a 16-year-old Muslim Pakistani American from Jersey City, who's a big fan of Captain Marvel. She eventually gains shape-shifting powers and becomes a superhero herself. Miss Marvel is looking at an early 22 release date on Disney Plus. 6 episodes that will directly feed into the Marvels, which is the sequel to Captain Marvel. And then the last one we got was Secret Invasion, uh, which didn't give them. I feel I got the least of, um, but gave a look at Nick Fury with his eye patch off. But that was a cool. This is a cool thing to see for Secret Invasion. I think that one I'm definitely excited for too. And actually, one more I forgot about: Spider-Man freshman year, which is going to be kind of a prequel thing set to the MCU, which we'll see how he became Spider-Man and everything. Um, I think that's going to be animated, I believe. So that one is going to be interesting just to see how that one all works. But Secret Invasion also will be a total of 6 episodes. Um, and it will be coming out in 2022 as well. Um, the show is envisioned to be a miniseries that will last multiple seasons. And moving on, um, Dylan, what did you think first before I move on? Did you like all this news? Where are you at on excitement level for some of these shows?
I'm honestly kind of neutral. It's for me. It's just mainly until we can get more information about it and more footage. Because, like for me at the moment, I think the thing that most there's a few more things that you're forgetting that you left out. You left out the X Men animated series revival, the X Men 1997 show series revival, and you also left out the Marvel Zombies show that's going to be coming out. That is confirmed to be a continuation of the What If episode that everybody was wondering about. So there's those two. But yeah, I think right now my most anticipated one is Moon Knight, and I'm not like super hyped for any of them at the moment, even Moon Knight, until I get more footage and know more about plot and stuff like that. So I'm not entirely like on a hype train yet.
And moving on to Chucky, um, episodes 5 and 6 reviews. These were both very good episodes. And I knew going in that we were going to return some people from the past. The episode 5 kind of returned some of our villains, which was Tiffany and Nika. Which Nika was good. She was the one from the last two Chucky movies. But it starts off with a flashback of when Charles met Tiffany. Which the cool thing about this is Charles is played by Fiona Doroff, which is Brad Doroff, his daughter, who also plays Nika, which is really cool to find out that's who it was. In this episode, Jake and Devin finally kissed. Because before, Jake, Devin, and Lexi, they thought they killed actually Chucky because they kicked him and just burned him to death. So they thought he was dead. Um, but however, things quickly become disastrous when they go to, I can't remember what it was, but the principal's head comes rolling out onto the stage, revealing her murder, which Chucky did, of course, showing that he was alive, which he actually transferred himself into another Tommy doll that Lexi's sister got. Episode 5 was really good. It was really great to see Tiffany back again. She was always kind of one of my favorites in this franchise. I just love how the Child's Play, the Chucky movies, like they keep very, very good consistently throughout the thing. Like everything is very faithful and everything. Episode 6 returned Andy and Kyle, which I knew they were coming back, and it's still just so great to see them again. Um, Jake and Devin are able to, they had to contact Andy and Kyle to come help them with everything that's going on. Uh, but Chucky kills Bree, which is Junior's mom, by pushing a cart um, and pushing her out the window because she tells Junior that she has cancer and everything. So she goes to her therapist and everything, and that's where she meets her demise, which is a good kill because her face kind of comes through the glass. It was kind of cool. I like how they did that. And then um, Devin reveals his relationship to Jake to his mom, but shortly after that, Jake and Devin they set up a trap for Chucky at their house. Um, but Chucky kind of is able to outsmart them and uh, get out of their trap, and he in that kills Detective Evans, which is Devin's mom, of course, by pushing her down the stairs, which breaks her neck when she falls. So that's kind of a crazy way to end the episode, but both very, very solid episodes, and only 2 more episodes left in this show. So I'm very, very excited and looking forward to see how they end this show. Um, who's gonna get killed and who's gonna be able to survive. Um, I really hope. Here's my hoping for the show, either at the end or right before Tiffany gets back into the doll, and maybe that'll be where the second season goes. I don't know if they do a second season. I would love to see a second season, but we'll see how it all goes. It's very exciting. Um, but Dylan, what did you think of these 2 episodes? Did you get a chance to see them? Did you like them? Did you hate them? What did you think of how they all went?
I like both of these episodes a lot. I really liked episode 5, mainly because that's when Lexi like completely like comes over to like uh Jake's side for the most part. Like Jake, and Devin are on a quest to get rid of Chucky completely, and they thought they did earlier in the show, but then they realized that they didn't. And then, or was it episode 5 where they thought they did? I think it was episode 5 where they thought they killed him, but then they realized they didn't, and so yeah, just like all of that. And then episode 6 had some really shocking kills as well with Junior's mom and all that, which kind of sucks because she was gonna die anyway, but she just wanted to spend like her final weeks and however long she had left with her family, you know, and just all that, but she never got that opportunity. So it's just sad, but I'm really loving where the show's going, and I think there's only what 2, 3 episodes left, and I've loved where the show's gone. It's really stayed faithful to the movies, and I'm just glad that the show exists for what it is, and I can't wait for season 2 because I'm sure, like with the ratings the show's getting too, I'm sure they definitely prefer to do this show over doing movies because I mean, if I'm being honest, like the show is the length of like 3 Chucky movies. So we get more Chucky content in a show as compared to movies. So like I think I do prefer Chucky just being a show over being movies at the moment. And Oh God, I just love the show so much, and I never want it to end, but I'm sure it will at some point whenever the ratings get bad or just whatever they decide to do. But I just love the show and can't wait to see where they go from here.
Question of the day. This one's kind of an interesting ranking. Um, we're gonna rank all four Predator movies, just the four Predator movies, not Alien versus Predator and all that stuff. Just four Predator movies, and I'm gonna start mine off with Predator Two. I know a lot of people really don't like this movie. This is kind of a one that has gained a cult following as years have gone by. But I used to not like this one, but then I watched it I think 2 years ago, and something about it just made this one an easy favorite of mine. I just loved the city. I think Predator is just badass in this one. Um, just I don't know. This one was just really cool. A lot of great kills. I think that what really does it is the city. I just think that is a cool thing. Just not being in a jungle or anywhere, just being in a town where anyone is just anyone's fair game. Number two, of course, The Predator. The Predator was always a childhood favorite of mine. Arnold Schwarzenegger. I mean, this movie's it's just as good as the first. So don't get me wrong. I think I don't like this movie. I love this movie. It's just Predator 2. It's always just something about it. It's just something about it. It's just better. But I mean, this franchise wouldn't be in existence without this movie. But I would love to see Arnold Schwarzenegger come back for one. I know he was supposed to in The Predator, but they were going to do a cameo, and he was like, no, thanks, I'm done. No way. But moving on to my third one is The Predator. I know that one's going to probably get a lot of mixed reviews from people, but I don't know. I just had a super fun time with The Predator. There's a lot of dumb things at the end, so I mean, some of that's not good, but overall, I do like The Predator a lot. I think it is, I mean, just a fun movie at times. Sometimes it really gets kind of frustrating where I see where people talk. Um, Kind of when they kill the Predator, and it's just that big one. That's kind of stupid. I don't like that, but I like the inmates that are kind of trying to kill the Predator. I really like them. They're all great. But last would be Predators. I don't know. This is one over time I've kind of gained a little bit of appreciation for, but I still just don't like this movie. It's the same thing as the first Predator movie, and it just doesn't work. Topher Grace is just okay. I forgot what the main guy is from King. He was in the King Kong remake. I mean, he was probably the best. Um, oh, what's his name from Spy Kids, and he was in Halloween. Oh, he was solid. I just wish they would have killed him off. But Predators was always just one I wanted to like, and I really want to like a lot. But every time I watch it, I just I don't care. I mean, I've slowly definitely grown to appreciate it for more for what it is. It's just one that's never fully worked for me. Um, but Dylan, what is your ranking of all the Predator movies? I'd love to hear what you think. Um, what are your thoughts on what's your favorite? What's your least? What you think?
Okay, so I don't want it to sound lazy or anything. I really hope it doesn't, but my rankings are the exact same as yours, if I'm being honest. Like starting with Predator 2, I just love the setting of Los Angeles and a predator let loose on a city like that with all those people there. It just has an interesting concept, and you do get a lot or a decent amount of kills in this movie, and I just really like that. And I really like at the end he like goes on the alien ship and all that. I think that's interesting. Like the very first one, Predator, 1987, obvious classic. You know, Arnold Schwarzenegger kills it, and a lot of iconic lines. Get to the chopper, all that. That's in there. Like just a great movie. Predator 2018, like you said, it's a really polarizing. Directed by Shane Black, who was in the original 1987 movie, and like just like you, I really did like the Predator in 2018. I thought it was a good movie. I know a lot of people didn't, but I just like what they did with that one. And like you, I really wanted to like Predators 2010, but I just didn't. Adrian Brody is who you're thinking of. He's the main guy, and it's just I don't know. Like you, I really wanted to like it, but it's just a rehash of the very first movie, and it's just not good in the slightest. It's just terrible.
And thank you for listening to this week's episode. We really appreciate it. If you could, please like and subscribe and go down in the comments. Leave your thoughts. What did you think of the Spider-Man trailer and all the Predator? What's your favorite Predator movie and what's your least favorite? I'd love to know your ranking of those. But stay tuned, or we will have a out of the theater thoughts for Ghostbusters Afterlife. Can't wait to talk to you about that. We will talk to you with that, and we will talk to you next week.